Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for episode 5 of the. Thank you very much. The Superpower Hours for the Next Gen Racing League. I'm your host, as always, Joshua Temple. I got my colleagues here. Everyone's here. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. Still trying to watch a little bit of the Clash, but that looks like it's a shit show. So let's start this off. Nep, welcome back, buddy.
How you doing, Josh?
Dude, I am doing fantastic. I I'm excited to go over this week. We got a lot to unfold this week.
Oh, there's a lot to cover. So everybody sit back and relax because it's going to be a
It's gonna be a long
long
one.
journey.
It definitely will be. And next, Shiesty. Shiesty, welcome back, bud.
Thank you, thank you. I'm really excited for this one. I'm just fucking stoked for this episode and what we got for you guys today.
Yeah, a lot of racing to unfold and a lot of shit to talk about. But without further ado, let's get into our lovely table of contents. Before we even start looking at that, we have a new segment that is gonna be brand new this week, and we'll be carrying it on. Yes, sir. And we'll be carrying on from this day forward. So just be prepared to see that. And we got DJ Bames over here, fucking hitting up the soundboard. Bames,
Been promoted.
yes, sir.
You are now one of my elite employees.
Yeah. So all the noises you hear, all the fun shit, that's gonna be Bames, and he's gonna be rocking with us for the rest of the night.
I think he has a blast with those sound clips, honestly.
Table of contents, of course, starting off with Nep's Xfinity Heroes. He's got a special guest this week, so get ready to learn about him. Superpower Hours Power Vision, that is the new segment for this show. We'll fill you in when we get there. I don't want to spoil it right now. Next, Nep Dog's Weekly Race Report, Shiesty's Eagle Eye, then my Drama Ramba. All right, enough of me talking. Nep Dog, take her away.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of NEP's Meet the Xfinity Heroes. As you know, each week I like to bring an Xfinity guy in, kind of give them their time to shine. We're always talking about cups, so we need to have a little fun talking to the Xfinity guys. My guest tonight is, everybody knows him. He's been around us for the longest of time. He's actually one of the people that I have, when I first started racing online, he was one of the first guys I met, him and Hamrick, and we naturally just bonded. We ran multiple dirt series together over on World of Outlaws. It was because of this guy that I found my way over here to the NASCAR. I played NASCAR games before in the past, and I always did like career mode. I never thought about racing online. And you're racing with this guy. He had joined in with Josh's D2D at the time, and he come up to me. He says, "Hey Nep, why don't you come run NASCAR?" I'm like, I'm a dirt track specialist. I'm not, I'm not an asphalt racer. He says, "Oh, just come on over. It'd be fun." And I couldn't help but go for it. Went over there, and since I've came over here to the asphalt aspect, it's just been a blast. So my guest this week is none other than Mr. Justin Claypool, aka J Clay 19.
Oh, thank you for introducing me with that awesome introduction, Nep. I didn't really expect that.
Well, you really, before I ever got into any single league or anything, be it World of Outlaws or anything, we would run, just public lobbies on World of Outlaws, and we'd run multiple hours just running freaking tracks and all that. And then, we knew a guy, Brian. He had a league that he was starting up, Ride or Die, and you were able to. You got in, and hey, Nip, why don't you come run this league with me? I was like, all right, what the hell? So I jumped over there, and the journey just started. But real quick, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know one thing. Uh, what you are a vet. I won't say former because once you're military, you're always military. I know you're a vet, but tell us a little bit about yourself, bud.
Well, I'm from Pennsylvania. I've been racing since World of Outlaw came back out, at least online. Military vet. I was in from 2009 to 2013. I just enjoy racing. It's fun for me to do. Takes my mind off other stuff that's happening in my life.
Sometimes we need a little escape from reality here and there. Well, Jay, this year, we moved this season. We moved over to this new league, and may it be, powers that be decided, we know that you're on a controller, and at first with the new game, the aspects, you were having little handling issues. It's something that controller, and that's one reason why I wanted to get you on the show, because a lot of people we talk to, they're wheel guys. So to be able to get somebody in here that's on a controller and get your aspect of, the driving styles and all that for somebody that's on a controller. I know you're looking to try to get a wheel, and man, I'm telling you, you came in last week at Daytona and with a top 5 finish on a controller. I can only imagine what you'd be able to do on a wheel.
Yeah, I give it a shot. It's way harder on controller than I want to say it is on a wheel. I mean, if anyone, I challenge you, it's on a wheel to go out there and try to run this game on controller, especially those shorter tracks or something like that. But hey, at least I had the best finish of a hot seat driver so far this season in the Cup League. So
that you
that
have.
proves something to myself.
You're running hard in the Xfinity Series. Every week you're having a pretty good week. So, I mean, what's some goals for you?
Well, I like to win a couple races this year. My favorite tracks are super speedways. I know everyone thinks they're boring, but I think it takes a lot of skill. Running a super speedway, following behind people. It's just you can't just go balls to the wall the whole time. So
Right.
I just feel like it's a challenge no matter what kind of track you're at. I
I
just
agree.
prefer super speedways over everything. Said I want to get a couple wins, and then move up to Cup next season.
Well, I mean, you're looking to be a prime candidate to be part of that, Xfinity group coming over, going to be moving to Cup next season, and, you still got some tough competition there in Xfinity, but, if you can pull out a couple wins, you're right there in arm's reach of, trying to get that championship down there. You got, of course, Josh is down there, in which Josh poses a, you really, anytime Josh is on the track, you got to bring your A game. But, but along with that, you also have, Heavy D. He can be a fast guy, and
Yeah, when he's not complaining about people running into him or running close to him.
Well, but that would
Drama
be for
Rama
Josh's
question
drama
mark?
Rama. But Mountain Man's making great improvement. LaKiller came out there, ran a hot seat. He was a guest last week or week before last. LaKiller came out there and ran a hot seat this week. Finished real good. So you got some stiff competition down there in Xfinity.
I know LaKill's probably one of my biggest competition besides Josh. He's always finishing up there top 10. I mean, it's only a matter of time before he gets top 5 or win a couple.
I agree with you. aspirations, season comes to an end. You get that call up for a cup. Do you go out there and just, shoot for a win, or just get in where you fit in and just try to make things work one move at a time?
I'm just going to try my best to follow others, get in the right position for a win. I'm not going to push the issue. I don't have to, but we'll see how it goes.
Right. Well, Justin, you're a great guy. You're a true brother to me. We do appreciate everything that you do on the track and what you've done for our country off the track. So thank you for coming in here. Later on, we'll do our usual roundtables. I know you're an avid watcher of the show and all. So by all means, when we get to that point, fill in. Jump in. And let's speak your mind.
Oh, I will. I'm still waiting for you to come visit me up at Lernerville for the firecracker.
Well, I ain't seen you come down here to Cherokee either.
Hey, I was down there a couple years ago. I just drove through, though.
Well, it'll happen one day. You never know. But anyways, we're going to move on to the next segment. Question, Josh. Who's going to take this one?
So this one was somebody's idea, and they're gonna run with it. Mr. Shiesty, take it away.
Thank you. Oh, boys, I'm excited for this one. I really am. I noticed one of the guys in our league each week has gone out and predicted who he thinks is going to win, and that's none other than Lakeel. Lakeel, however you want to say it. He predicted week in, week out who he thought he was going to win, and I thought it'd be a fucking amazing idea to put it on the show. Let our drivers vote. Let our panel vote. And kind of hold a record. See who's got the best guesses or whatever it might be. But first for you, we got the Xfinity race. Seemed like pretty one-sided. Nep had Josh for the Xfinity race. I as well took Josh. The public, the chat, you guys had Heavy D winning that one, and then Josh took Reb. We'll find out later. The results will have the score and tallies at the end too. After that, we move on to our first cup race of this segment. It'll be at Las Vegas. Vegas is a 1.5-mile track. We kind of have a select amount of guys that we know are going to run away with 1.5 miles. And this one was pretty one-sided. Very one-sided, actually. As Nep took Bames, going back-to-back. Then Josh took Bames, going back-to-back as well. I, looking after a fellow PPR driver, ran a couple practices with him, and I have him going back-to-back at Vegas as well.
Lizard.
As far as Martinsville goes, there was no question. Everybody chose Trigun, and if you didn't, who in the hell are you choosing? And with that, go ahead, Nope.
Yeah, I think Trigon. I mean, just watching him practice and all that, I think for me, it was really hard to pick against him, at Martinsville.
Yeah, with that being said, I'm hand it off to you here, and we'll get to the race report.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Net Dog's weekly race report. Had some interesting races covered. 3 races, 1 Xfinity, 2 Cups. We'll start off at Phoenix for Xfinity on the 1st of February. Went out there, qualified. Josh would get a blistering time of 27.409 to take the pole. Phoenix, we ran last week in the Cup Series. Always a tough track, with turn 1. Turn 1 and 2 is always a tight turn, and it, interesting to see how everybody would come off of this straightaway going into there, because some would dive deep onto the straightaway and then having to come up in that tightness. Rowdy was able to pull away with stage 1 win. Stage 2 would go to Reb. Going into the final stage, beating banging going on. Couple cautions came out, but at the end of the day, Speedy would be able to pick up the win, followed by Samo. Josh would finish 3rd, Baines would finish 4th, and Red would finish 5th. Let me also mention, due to things that's perspired, that some of these names that you saw on there for the finishing order, they're not going to be around anymore. The league has made a ruling to only allow a limited amount of Cup guys, mainly being admins and the committees, to run down there. Only a few of them. That's giving it a more giving it a little bit more of a a better feel for the Xfinity guys. So it's going to be interesting to see now that the Xfinity guys doesn't have to play, have to race with the whole Cup field, how they shine and who comes out on top down there. So it's going to be interesting. Next, we go to Monday night, the 2nd, for the first Cup race of the week, where we would have at Vegas, everybody's looking for 21. JPR would come out there with a fast car, catching the pole with a 29.772. The race, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it went caution free the whole race. It was a pretty good race. JPR would, win the first stage, followed by Reb. But like most of us had picked, Baines, we knew he's always been real good with the 1.5 class track, so we knew it was just a matter of time. But, at the end of the day, Baines would pick off the win. But if there was one more lap in the race, he might not have gotten that win, because Shiesty, you finished second, followed by Samo, MB, and JPR, which marked back-to-back Cup races, Talladega and Vegas, where Team PPR would finish 1-2.
Yeah, it's
So-
I'm
I'm fast
speechless.
as fuck, boy.
This team's just come alive in the last couple of races, and I'm excited to hopefully find this consistency. And obviously, 1-2's just unrealistic week in, week out with the guys we have in the league. But I think we can all compete for top fives week in and week out, whether it's me and Bames or Wolfie and Nep. I mean, it could be anybody. Rooster, just some guys have their specific tracks, and I'm super fucking blessed with this team that I've drafted. coming alive when they have.
Well, I know I'm glad to be racing for you. There's Shiesty. You took a gamble and rolled the dice, and I'm out there doing the best I can and trying to make you proud, along with the rest of the team, even Bames. But
one last thing before we click off this finishing slide. Josh, if you can, could you zoom in on that time? The finishing time?
I can't zoom in, but I can tell you what it is.
I'll go for it.
It was about 3/100ths of a second.
yeah.
You're not that guy, pal. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah, you guys had one close ass fucking finish there. I will give you that.
Yeah, it was a butthole tightener, that's for sure. We ran Samo down with about 5 laps to go from 5-6 seconds back after Bames made a call to stay out longer. Tires prevailed, and it was a tight one coming to the finish.
So with being a team, teammates, did y'all work together or just ran y'all's race?
It was. We got around. I want to say MB and JPR. We got around them, and once we got around there, it was clean track to Samo.
That was legitness.
Pushed. Yes, it was. We pushed each other up to him, and then as soon as we caught him, there wasn't much he could do. We had 5-lap fresher tires, and it was just down to us two at the end of the day, and I definitely fucked myself, that's for sure. 1-2 nonetheless.
Nonetheless. Come on now. All right. Well, with that being said, Vegas was over with. Time to make our way to the paperclip, Miss Martinsville, on Tuesday night. Can you hit that again? I'm serious. Thank you. Martinsville, always a tough track, and Speedy was able to come out there and capture the pole with a 20.363. Speedy had a fast car, and some thought maybe Speedy might pull out the win. He'd go out there, capture stage 1, but then Trigon missed qualifying, so he had to start in the back of the pack and work his way up. So he started like 19th position, either 18th or 19th. And with as tough as Martinsville is, and he had a fast car. He would come out there for stage 2, and I mean, other than pitting, he wouldn't relinquish that spot. I mean, he was the man to beat, and sure enough, come out there, picked up the win, followed by Speedy, JPR, Josh finished 4th, and Reb would finish 5th. I don't know how Trigun is so good at Martinsville. He was that way.
I just want to punch a fat kid at Kmart.
Oh, not the fat kid at Kmart. Anywho, he knows how to get around that track. He's smooth. He passed. I think I was like 20 laps down, and every time he passed me smooth as could be. Didn't bobble in the turns or anything. So, hats off to you, Trigon, on picking up the win. We lead the week with Samo still sitting in first in points, but he's only got a 3-point lead over JPR. So, JPR and Reb, who are both tied for second place, and then Bames, you're sitting there in 4th, and Speedy's sitting in 5th. So, the points are they're tight. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season transpires. Um, an up to date look on team points. High Life Racing is Motorsports is still leading with 177 points with their 3 wins. Outlaw Racing with 1,054 points and 2 wins. Dark Horse, a team that some thought was going to be the dominant team. Still all this time, it still hasn't got a win yet. But I feel with Speedy behind the wheel, Trickle, and some of the other guys they got over there, it's just a matter of time before they're going to start clicking wins off. PPR, we're sitting there at 973 points with 2 wins. And, of course, we'll mention it, Dumpster Fire Motorsports sitting there at the bottom with their 1 win. So,
I like turtles.
all in all, a decent, a decent week of racing. There was a few arguments and a few disagreements that happened on the track, which is going to happen. That's part of racing, guys. The best advice I can give anybody is, unless they just straight up come from the bottom of the track and just take your ass out, just breathe and move on. We're all out here to be competitive, but we're also out here to have fun. And I think some people take things way too serious.
I love you, bitch.
Now you do need to take it a little serious. You do still need to have some seriousness in there, but in the long term, it is racing. It is a console game, and you got to keep that in the back of your mind in these races. But with that being said, that's about all I have for this week, guys. So let me send it over to Shiesty for Shiesty's Eagle Eye.
All right, I'm back. Yep. No, but this week we've got a couple questions. More shot towards J-Clip, but I'd love everybody to chime in when they can. The first one's actually out there for everybody. Has the quality of racing improved throughout the last couple of weeks?
Definitely.
Oh yeah. I think everybody's starting to get. I literally think everybody's starting to get more hang of the game, and I think everybody's driving skills is getting better. I think some of the updates have kind of hindered the game a little bit. I've noticed, not since the update today, but since the update the other day or whenever what last was, a lot of ghost cars have been happening. I'm not for sure what's causing that, but I think everybody's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's getting comfortable with everybody else. That's the big thing. You're starting to learn tendencies from different drivers, and as you learn that, the racing gets cleaner, gets easier. Um, so, I mean, because now you're like, all right, I know how they take corners normally. I know where they're going to put their car. I'm going to go somewhere else, and I know they're going to push up or they're going to brake too early, whatever the case is, and I'm going to drive around them or I'm gonna at least race them, but I know where their tendencies are. So yeah, I mean by far the racing has improved tremendously.
Now, with that being said, do you think we are almost to par of what we had in Heat 5? League racing wise?
I don't know, cause Heat 5, I mean we had some shit shows, but like it was every season it would fire off and it would be terrible for the first 7, 8 races, and then it would clean up and get fucking super crazy smooth. So I mean, do I think we're there? I mean, I think we're past that point. so very early in the season, which is nice. But it's also the people you're around and how things are being ran, and it's different than what things have been in the past. So, I mean, yeah, I think stuff's pretty good. So let's keep running it.
Hell yeah. Jay, this one's for you. And Nep kind of stole it earlier, but what are your goals for this season overall, and what's your really end goal for your career here in NGRL?
Well, my main goal this season is to have some clean racing with some good guys, make a couple wins, and advance up to the Cup Series.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you've got a call up to Cup, which we're not doing anymore, but would you kind of like learn from that from the Cup side opposed to Xfinity?
The Cup cars definitely handle differently. I feel like the Cup cars are tighter, and it's also a big difference trying to shift from 4 gears to 5 gears. But once you get in that 5th gear, especially at a super speedway like the place I got called up to, it was easy to me.
Yeah, you and Mountain Dew man kind of pulled the short end of the stick getting your first call up and only call up so far as a plate track.
Hey, I don't mind it. Plate tracks, I love racing plate tracks. Somewhere I can go wide open, somewhere where I'm not, trying to steer harder than what my controller will let me.
Now, this next one is for you, but I'd like to hear from really everybody. Um, how do you feel this league is better than other leagues that may be out there?
Well, I've only ever been in this league and Dumpster Fire Motorsports' league, so I can't really say, but I feel like we have a good group of guys. I mean, you'll have some guys that take this game as they're racing for a seat in a NASCAR car, and you have guys who race it just for fun. And it's hard to, race together when you have some people that take it way more seriously than others.
Now, Josh, I know you had an iRacing league that you ran, and Nep, I know you run over there in Woo. How do you guys feel this league excels compared to others?
As far as it goes for like the woo aspect, there there's great great guys I run with over there, great guys I run over here. I feel like I have to put a lot more. It's a preference because I've kind of, other than running in Jay's league on Thursday nights, I've kind of walked away from back there. But it takes with Woo, you get in there and you set your slider and you go. But here you have to take a lot of time for adjustments and pit strategies and all. So I feel it's a more competitive over here because, or not so much competitive. It's a skill based over here.
Come on,
Josh?
Neff. It's skill based at World of Outlaws too. It's just easier to race it to me because I've been doing it for years.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Well, if you want my
Josh, got anything to touch?
if you want my full thought process on this, it's very hard to try to compare this to what I did over in iRacing because the way stuff was ran doesn't doesn't really fall in the same place as this. Like on iRacing side, like it was backed with a lot of money, of course. So there was actual like physical people, physical sponsorships that would sponsor a season for payouts, stuff like that. So you had that aspect, that was cool, and that's where like you guys are talking about with the fucking people taking it too serious over there. That's all you ran into. It's their life. That's what they're gonna do. And even on this game, you see people you fucking run into it. I mean, we have a couple people that act like that. So it's just you can't compare it because one had an actual dividend payoff versus the other one that's just enjoying to race and actually do something with racing. So I can't compare it versus what this league got ran versus I don't know how I ran my last one. I can't really compare that either because it's two separate things. And I mean, let's be honest. I
Can't
had
believe nobody said podcast, man.
well that's
We got
where
our own show.
that's where we're rolling. That's where we're getting there. Relax. That's another thing that I haven't really seen. I saw it once and whoever was doing it, oh my god, it was years ago. It was on iRacing, and they were just like it was something that wasn't really amounting to anything. It was like a quick 15-20 minute thing, and they were done. They wouldn't go into stuff like we do. So yes, 100% that's a big standout with anything to do with league racing is something like this. You go over, you have a show, you go over everything that just you had the past week. You go into depth on certain things. You talk about shit within the league itself. It's super fucking immersive. Nobody else does that. That's what the huge standout is the immersion that we're able to bring.
Oh, I know. I've talked to some of the guys that have joined, and they said one thing that brought them over here is the podcast, honestly, because it's something that's they don't hear a lot of that, and we've talked about it in the committee and all that. That if they ever, just like they had the function in Woo and they have the function here, I mean, on Heat 5, um, where we were able to spectate the actual race. We've talked about if they ever add that feature, like when it comes to Xfinity. Hell, I'll be glad to sit there, just sit up in a booth and just do play-by-play and commentary of the race. And I'm sure there's other committee guys
I'll
that would,
fucking retire, dude. I'll do that.
you know, you know, and that's something that if they ever add it, I mean, I think we'll jump right on board on that. So,
I tell you what, that'd be a booth to listen to. Be like Mike Joy and Clint Boyer. You guys can decide who Clint Boyer is, but
I would have a fucking blast doing that, and that'd be cool if they add that. And if they add that to another game, I would not mind buying the game just to do the broadcasting side of it. Um, I just I don't know if I'm hitting the wall or what the case is, but I've won enough in my lifetime when it comes to these racing games. I have fun when I get on here once in a while. Other times I'm just like, nah, I don't need to go on. It comes down to a broadcast, and you're able to broadcast the race and fucking commentate. Count me the fuck in.
well, Josh, that's all I have for right now. I'm gonna send it to you and let you take care of your total drama rama.
Well, thank you. Temple's
Oh
Dramarama.
shit. Here we go again.
Here we go again. Um, to be honest, it was kind of a quiet week. It was really hard to start. Yeah, no, it was. I had to really dig deep to find a couple things to talk about during this because at one point I was just like, "There's one thing that I can talk about, and that's it." And that actually
You
touched.
wrecked me at Phoenix.
You're a dick. Anywho, um, but yeah. So I mean,
You're not that guy, pal.
we ran in Martinsville, so we can talk about that. Holy hell! The first 3 laps of the race, people getting ran over and taken out super early blew my fucking mind. Um, it took probably like what 4, maybe 5 cars out of contention super early,
6, 7.
and people went fucking laps upon laps down, and it was just fucking insane. So yeah, that was crazy. People need to calm the fuck down, and it was no patience. No one had patience, and when you're riding, you got to get on the brakes a little bit earlier. You can't hit your normal marks, and people were just forgetting that whole side of it. So yeah,
I
fucking
do gotta add on to that
yep,
it is fucking Martinsville.
yep,
Let's be honest. You
yep,
see this in real life, every series. You see this at really any short track. I'm sure Bowman Gray was filled with this shit tonight. So,
yeah,
all
but
in all, I don't think it was a terrible race. Could have
no,
been a lot cleaner, but that's besides the fact.
no, and I'm not saying it was a terrible race, but in all seriousness, people need to learn how to fucking drive. But let's get on to the next slide. This was the one that I was really fucking zoned in on. And I'm curious. Me and Lakille were actually talking about this back and forth today. Um, the rule change to you're staying in your class. We're having team captains come out to Xfinity, um, stuff like that. Cup is Cup, Xfinity is Xfinity, all that fun shit. But like thinking about it, I'm just like, all right. So now you're making the field on the Xfinity side smaller, which, hey, some of those guys need it, so I get it completely. Um, Now, where is some of these underdogs, quote unquote, gonna come out and show off? And I think 100% we're gonna see that. So I'm excited as fuck for that shit. I want to. I told Lakilly I push his fucking ass to the win. I don't care. Um. So
So, I'm really excited with Bristol coming up
yeah.
next week for Xfinity. There's
Hmm.
not going to be a whole lot of cars, so you're not fighting everybody with space on the track. You can run your race. It shouldn't be too terribly difficult to pass unless you're passing underneath.
The problem is down in Xfinity we got a couple fucking hotheads. And I
Well,
think they're gonna be using fucking bumpers stupid early. Hey, I'm here to cause it, so I'll keep saying it. But yeah, I just think you're gonna have people fucking force this
And see,
motherfucker.
from the actual penthouse of this league, I guess you can call us, the between with Rowdy, um, MB, myself, and Trickle. That's one thing that we're looking at.
Hmm.
If we've got a guy like Mountain Dew Man who
Hmm.
is coming out there every week, he runs everybody's clean. We're not looking for the fastest guys. We're looking for consistency and good sportsmanship. One that runs a hard race but doesn't get into people, doesn't bitch, doesn't moan, doesn't complain about every little fucking thing. It's a damn racing game on a console. You know, that's what we're looking for when the season's over with, to sit there and say, okay, does this person need to come up, or is it going to be another ego driven person that we're going to throw in the mix with the egos that we have in the Cup Series? Or is it going to be somebody that's going to move up and still provide for clean racing?
Hmm.
And I think that has a lot to do with it. Um, it's hard to sit there and when we're down there and you got Cup guys mixed in with Xfinity guys, it's hard to really focus on which Xfinity guys are really standing out, which ones are doing it, because you don't have really time to really evaluate the Xfinity guys. So by saying, okay, we're not going to allow 20 some, we're not going to allow 18 Cup guys run with the Xfinities. Now we're only going to have a handful or so of committee members, and their whole purpose is to go down there. They're not, If they get a win, they get a win. But the most part, what they're going down there for is to observe the Xfinity guys and see who do we feel once this season's over with, going into next season, do we feel comfortable bringing them up to the Cup Series and stay so that the Cup Series will grow and be a good series.
Mhm.
Vice versa, and this goes out for the Cup guys. If you're not cutting the fucking mustard, don't be surprised at the end of the season if you find your way being knocked down to Xfinity.
Fuck yeah, Depp.
That's the
Fucking talk
you
about
know
it.
you know if your ego is too big,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe it's time for you to either go down to Xfinity or maybe find another league.
Amen.
Because, we're not here for egos, we're here for competitive fun racing.
I personally think. Go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
We're here. A lot of us, yeah, we put the time into practicing and getting these tracks down. But when you go out there and lap 1 or 2, just because you can make the move, so you force things 3 and 4 fucking wide on a track that you can't go fucking 2 wide at, just because you're fast. So I can make it stick. Well, you might be able to make it stick, but what about the guy beside you that now get a little nervous or whatever? They bobble, and now you got a wreck. And you're forcing things are being forced at the beginning of runs instead of later on in the race.
Yep.
When cars are spaced out. When we're all in a pack of 20 cars, and you've got somebody trying to go from 15th to fucking first in 1 or 2 turns, shit's gonna fucking happen. And that's shit that we're gonna start fucking observing. And you know, we'll mark you down. And come the end of the season, we'll evaluate and be like, you know what? This guy's just not at this moment. Maybe drop him down to Xfinity and make him, a reality check, and then, then bring him back up and see how it goes from there. See if he fixes his shit.
I personally feel like the split is going to be good for the Xfinity guys and the Cup guys both, because the Xfinity guys are trying to race for points, and when you have Cup guys in there, they're also trying to race for win. They're not trying to race to finish behind the Xfinity guys. They're racing to win the race. So they put everybody in bad predicaments no matter where they're at, Cup or Xfinity series. So I feel that with it being only Xfinity guys and a few admins or team captains or whatever, I feel like it's going to be a really good thing for the Xfinity guys. So that way they know that they can try to race, because we got to think about it. This is the lower tier for newer drivers or drivers that couldn't quite cut it in the Cup initial roster. So trying to add people in there that are in the Cup roster when these guys are down here, just joining or trying to get their racing cleaned up, it makes it hard for them. So I really do like that. The hot seat thing, I thought it's a good thing. I mean, I know you guys got rid of it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Actually, let me touch on that real quick. Technically, the hot seat did not get removed. All right. Shiesty, he's a team owner. If he needs to bring somebody up, it's still going to be available. From time to time, we might, certain tracks, not every race, like we didn't do it yesterday for Martinsville, but Martinsville's a tough track. Tracks coming up like Bristol, tracks like Chicago Street. Yeah, we're not going to bring an Xfinity guy up. But if it's a track that we think there's a Xfinity guy that is doing good, that we'd like to, and that's the thing, when we're when we're down there in Xfinity, we're observing 10, 11, however many of y'all guys there are. And with the cups coming out, the cup guys coming out, we are going to be recruiting some more Xfinity guys that will be brought in the mix. How many? We're not going to overload it. Maybe maybe 2 to 3 more people, maybe 4. I'm not for sure. But we're going to bring some more in. But when we're down there, we're having to watch all of the Xfinity guys and observe them. So what? It's not so much like the hot seat, but not. We might, say take a Charlotte or take Talladega. We might say, why don't we bring Memphis up, or why don't we bring what's Trickle's buddy's name, Vista or something like that.
Fister.
Yeah,
Fister
Fister.
31D or something like that.
Bring, or like a Talladega might bring up like a Bullet Bob or somebody like that. That way, we're bringing that one guy up and up there and seeing how just one Xfinity guy does, how they do and handle running with the Cup guys. So it's one of those things like, yeah, we're doing away with hot seat, but then in the same sense, we're revamping the hot seat type deal. Owners would still what?
I did want to add the start and park rule. I don't know if you touched on it earlier. I don't think you did.
No,
Drivers are now rewarded 3 start and parks. That will grant you, if you miss a race, you get last place points, or I believe it's last place points as if you started the race but you didn't finish it. You get 3 uses. You can use them at any point. Once they're gone, they're gone. But did want to highlight that there, Neb.
Now, we did talk about this up there in the owners chat and all that. The upper level. And this touches on Josh. I'm gonna bring you up here, sir.
Yes.
With you being a part-time guy,
Mm-hmm.
you have a limited schedule a limited amount of races that you're allowed to run. With that being said, it's not right for us to sit there and allow everybody else to use starting parks, but you can't. But keep in mind, if something comes up and you can't make a race, you do have a limited amount. If you choose to use a starting park, it will still count as one of your races. Just giving you a heads up.
Well, I just wanted to talk about that quick, because don't my points not count on a cup side?
You're still getting points. It's just naturally, with only running a partial schedule, you wouldn't be able to.
Playoff eligibility.
Mathematically,
is the only difference.
you wouldn't be eligible. You wouldn't be able to win a championship, because the simple fact is, you'll run out of races, so you'll end up. But if you notice, you're still on the points board.
I know.
So
I'm
you're still getting
10th.
points. Yeah.
Sitting 10th, and I also noticed that you only have 10 races left, Mr. Sir.
Yeah, I don't know if it was 16 or 18.
I'm not sure if I'm counting or if Bames is counting for me, but...
Yeah, I thought you guys told me 18. So.
It's 18 because it's like 36 races and 18, and
12.
18 is 36.
Shit.
Dude, I might steal someone's playoff spot and not be able to show up.
That'd be something.
I mean, I'm only 20 points off Shiesty, and I missed 2 races, so we'll see what happens.
One thing, somebody said to me, I won't throw their name out, but they did message me privately, and they said, why is all the, right here, we're 4 or 5 weeks in, however many weeks it is, and things are changing. Here's the thing, guys. We started this league, and as you know, the first league, just like when a new game comes out in a game line, the first game, it's got its bugs. And Yeah, we sat down a lot prior to starting the season and talked about this and that, but you have situations where scenario comes into place that you don't think about when it happened. So that first season is basically a learning season, so that just like the Xfinity guys are doing everything to improve to make it up to the Cup Series, us in a whole as a league and admins and committees, we're doing the same thing. Now we have decided, guys, after we make these changes, what we put down, that's it. We're not going to change any other rules for the rest of the season. Um, we'll make notes of things to address in the off season, but that has a lot to do with why we decided. Like, before we get way too in deep in this, we get past the halfway point, and then now we're going to change things. No, we want to nip it in the butt now. We'll keep notes and stuff to maybe change or tweak or whatever in the off season, but that's just to kind of touch on that subject.
All right, well, but then you explained that perfect. But I do have one more to go. Just kidding. Wasn't really much going on this week. Let's give me some content. Yeah, give me some content next week. Thank you all. But what I'm looking at right now, my pager's buzzing. I got an incoming from Dr. Shiesty. Shiesty, take it away, bud.
Yeah. Superpower Hours Part 2. Or Superpower Hours Power Vision. Damn, that is a bad name now that I'm saying it out loud. Part 2. Is Josh, is that correct? The poll results are in from this week?
They are in, they are tallied, and
for
they
next
are ready
week's
to
races?
let them fuck loose.
Yeah. Let's get into it, I guess. Shit. The poll results for the Xfinity race at Bristol. Josh and Jay Clay tied at 20% apiece as winning
Josh.
favorites over at Bristol.
Fucking tied. Jay, you're going down, dude.
Oh, that's all right. I'll just follow you till something gets in your way.
I'll probably spin out. It's all good.
I'm sure everybody will spin out at least 2 or 3 times, including myself. They're tied for third place. 3-way tie between Lakeel, Mountain Dew Man, and Heavy D. Don't want to say I'm surprised to see Lakeel at 15%, but definitely caught my eye, that's for sure. And then Hamrick.
I think
go ahead, touch on it.
I think Lakile might have a fucking shot at this. Just saying. I've been watching him the last couple weeks, especially the race we fucking just did, and he finished 10th in. I was like, holy shit! And that was in a cup car. He's getting better. He's putting work in, and I would not be surprised if he was in the top 3 at the end of this thing.
Now, I do have to add that this is another short track. Both Cup guys, myself, Xfinity guys, it's Bristol. You do have to use the brakes.
For the love of fuck,
I hear that
please.
often is use your fucking brakes. Do you have something other than a skinny pedal, right? Everybody's got more than one pedal beneath their feet.
I like turtles.
James, we know.
You can like turtles, but like to brake also.
Yeah, 100%. Huh? I don't want to skim over Hamrick there at the bottom. 10%. And then team captains, the public votes 5%. As far as the league votes for this weekend, or Bristol, next weekend, I should say. We have Net going with Mountain Dew Man. Josh and myself both pulling for Josh. And
I forgot to put my
Baines
pick in. I'm gonna
went
pick
for
Jake Clay.
Samo. Oh,
Oh
shit,
wait, no, I did
he's
pick
not a
Samo.
team owner.
He can't. What's his name? Samo can't race Xfinity anymore, so my pick doesn't matter. I'm switching to Jake Clay.
There we go. Jake Clay now has 20% and 1 vote. But
The plot thickens.
exactly.
Bum, bum.
Now, with that being said, we've got a Cup race Monday at Bristol, and not a heavy favorite, but Rowdy comes out on top from the public. That's 29%, followed by Samoa with 24%. Do you think it's going to be those two up front all night, or do you guys think you'll see a handful of guys?
You're missing one person off that list. It should have been JPR. He should have been voted up there. I don't know why the fuck no one voted for him, but he should have been up there.
You have a vote too, Josh.
Yeah, his vote was submitted. Everybody's votes were already submitted. We also have Trickle, Speedy, and Josh there, tied for third at 10% apiece. Bames, Trigun, Wolfie, and Rowdy, all at 5%. As far as our predictions go, Nep has Samo. Josh has Samo. I took Reb on this one. He's not up on the list, but if it's anything like the Bristol races before, they come down to fuel saving. Decided that was a sneaky pick. And then Ames has Speedy. Kind of surprised nobody on the panel chose Rowdy for this week.
For what? At Bristol?
Rowdy's
Yep.
been great. Rowdy burns his tires up too fucking quick, and then he sinks like a rock. That's
Rowdy also runs into a lot of shit, I've noticed.
Yes, and
Rowdy
he'll try to
always
pit.
tends to, he ends up cutting, shooting himself in the foot type deal.
And he'll pit, go 3
So,
laps down.
I don't think Rowdy realizes Mike is back. He can pass that bad luck back over to him on the track.
I don't know, Mike looks great at Vegas.
To me, it seems like Mike is taking the Mike is taking Rowdy's luck and vice versa. With that being said, Tuesday we are at Charlotte, and JPR's on top here at Charlotte with a 17% voting rate from you guys. Bames and Josh are tied at 13% for second. And then you have a 4-way tie for fourth there with Samo, Reb, Beerstick, and myself at 9%. And then we got 4%. We've got Speedy, Rowdy, Nep, Rooster, and Big Mike. Do any of those 5 at the bottom stand out to you guys?
Fucking Nep's coming to win that fucking race. I don't want to hear it.
It's my home track. I had to vote for myself. I mean, will I win it? Probably not, but you damn sure bet I'm gonna bring every damn thing I got.
Now, with that being said, Nep voted for himself. Josh voted for Reb this week. Or, I should say Tuesday. I chose PPR, or JPR. Jesus. He shows a lot of speed on those intermediate tracks, and especially the ones where you have to lift. And then Bames has Speedy.
I didn't pick, but yeah, I was gonna say Speedy.
All right. So this week's gonna be a good one. I'm excited. As far as next week goes, we have, or not next week, the total tally of what everybody has guessed from last week. Josh sits at 1-2 on his predictions. Nep at 2-1. Myself and Bames also at 2-1, and then Trickle at 0-3. He was way off this week or last week, and then you guys are undefeated, 3-0. So that being said, Josh, I think you have something for us.
I got a couple things. As you guys know, I've been working a couple commercials into the show. There's a couple bugs going on with that. So yeah, wrapping it up with a couple shout outs. First, I want to do again, Dubby. Head over there to www.dubby.gg. Use my promo code TEMP26. Get 10% off your order. Try the stuff out. I finally got my package from them the beginning of this week. Um, Honestly, really good product, and very surprised that I didn't get the jitters from it, and very delicious. Like it was, I could be drinking that shit all day, but that's probably not the best bet. But yeah, definitely go and check them out. Awesome product, and they seem like very awesome people, and it's cool to be partnered with them. Next on the list, First Place Auto Glass, baby. If you live in Jamestown, New York, hit them up. There's their email, firstplaceautoglass@yahoo.com. Bob, his name's Bull Bob on PlayStation side. Man, we've been running with him forever. He's been sponsoring stuff for my leagues, uh, so on and so forth. Really good guy. Definitely give him a call. He's the best around if you're around that area. Definitely 100%. Lastly, tried playing a commercial for you guys last week. Did not work out well. House of Vets. That is Trickle. That is his whole entire thing. He's helping out veterans. He's got a great thing going on over there. Built for the veterans, backed by the community. He he's doing great things with that whole program, and it's very appreciated for the people that need it. So thank you very much for that. And boys, that does it for us. So thank you. Thanks everyone for showing up tonight. Thanks for giving us a watch. If you're new here, hi. We do this every Wednesday. Pop in, say hi, say what's up, and enjoy the conversation. Nep, Shiesty, without further ado, are we doing it on three?
Let's
On
do it on
3.
three.
On three. 1, 2, 3. To be
To be
continued.
continued.
Close enough. Thank you.
Getting better, baby.
Yes.
We're getting better.
All right, guys. Have a great night, and we will see you next week.